Welcome back to Game of the Week.
Game of the Week.
Game of the Week. Today, I'm back with myself, Callum.
I'm Will.
And I'm Liam. This week, we're going to be talking about, we've got a new subject, which is the Under-8s League. We'll be going on to that later and more in detail as well. So, last week was a good week for football. We had some good scores, good team efforts, and all around everyone had some good fun. So this week we're going to be moving on into game week 10. This season we've had some absolutely brilliant efforts from brilliant teams, and I think the stats will show that well, won't they?
Welcome back to Stats. I have two players in particular this week that will blow your mind on their stats. One is called Les Neville-Webb from Quarry Green and Wisdom from River Juniors. First, Les Neville-Webb. She has produced amazing stats this week. Female, may I mention, in the men's team. That's very good. And then she's kept the ball 65% of the time. She's won 8 out of 11 tackles she's produced from striker this week. Wow. And then Wisdom. Well, what can you say about Wisdom? He really is a powerhouse in football at the moment. He scored 3 goals this week, a hat-trick, and then he's bagged 2 assists as well. Oh, great stats by Wisdom.
Well, I think Wisdom, he's just got something about him, and it's not just because he can score goals, but he's got that passing effort about him as well. He always likes to pass. Once he's done his part in the game, he'll always help others and give others a chance as well, and I think that's good.
I think you're right there, Cal, because Wisdom is really on point today and he definitely knows where the net is.
But what about Les, guys? What about her? What a performance that was at the weekend.
You're not wrong there, Will. Les is fantastic as a player.
Yeah, she scored a couple of brilliant goals, and she's as Will said, got a lot of assists, and she's a good player. This shows that anyone can get in a team, and it's even if it's a girl in a boys team.
This shows how much grassroots football is progressing as the girls are now catching up with the lads and making an effort.
Yeah,
it's great to see, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree with Liam. Grassroots football has gone from three game leagues to now having a load of leagues spread across different days of the week, different age groups, and now it's gone even better with having girls allowed to play as well. And it's not just that they weren't allowed, it's just that they weren't confident enough, because it'd always been boys before that, and I think
obviously like the fears grow out of them now.
Yeah,
and football's been seen as a boys' game, but now it's gradually grew into like where girls can play.
Yeah, because as you said, unless she's a girl, and I know there's a lot more that do play football in our league, and there's a lot more that want to, but they're too scared. But that's alright, because you can get all that fear out from playing football.
But why do you think they're scared? I personally think it's the parents just sometimes taking it a bit too far, thinking it's only a boys' game when it's not. It's a bit sad, really.
And I'm sure everyone already knows this, but it must be really hard for managers on the weekends, as all these eager players are waiting to play for the team.
Yeah, there's obviously you've got to only pick a certain amount of people, and it's good that she's got in, because she's a good player, and it just shows that you can always do it. So going back onto Wisdom stats again, how good was he again?
I thought he was brilliant. He normally is, to be honest. He's just stand-up performer, I think, for the league as well. I think it's great to have him in this league so far. They've really made a great transfer, and over the summer there by River Juniors, bringing him in all the way from Mallorca as well. It's a great move for them.
So moving on to our highlights of the week.
Highlights of the week!
So this week, what have you got in store for us, Liam?
I think River Juniors in the cup tie against Hillside will be a fantastic game, as there's lots of players who are waiting to play and they're all going to want to put on a great performance for the team.
Yeah, I agree with you there, because I think that both teams have got a good amount of players, and most of them are good as well. And that I think that'll be a tough game for the Juniors. And I just think maybe they could have done better from last week, and maybe they've improved from last week. Because last week there was a highlight that I thought was really good, and it was when Quarry Green, who were struggling last season, but River Juniors, I just don't know what happened to them last week. They were all over the place really. Quarry Green just...
I think it was all the goalie's fault, Callum Latham. You were letting him in too much, Callum. You weren't coming out for balls, and it just weren't good enough for the team, to be honest.
Well, I just think that's what you've got to do as a keeper. You can't.
Well, you've got to be braver than that, Callum. Yeah, it's just you're letting the team down sometimes, and I'm getting fed up with it, to be honest.
Well, it's hard as a keeper. So why don't you go in goal as a keeper?
I did go in goal in the second half and made a fantastic save, and kept a clean sheet for the team in the second half that we very much needed to get that draw.
Okay.
I think Quarry Green are a fantastic team and put River Juniors to a challenge River Juniors.
He wouldn't have put us to a challenge if Callum hadn't let all those goals in. It was only 3. Only 3. Only 3. We were 2-0 down in the first 15 minutes, Callum.
You've got to be trying harder than that, Callum. Coming out for balls, fearless.
Okay. So my highlight of that was when Quarry Green striker Jake, he's been out of form for the past couple of weeks, I'd say, and he's just come back into form, and I'd say he was amazing that match, and he got about 3 assists and 2 goals, and the 2 goals were absolutely amazing.
I've got a hat-trick if you learn from my save. You let the other 2 in.
Jake Stanley had a great performance on the weekend. He was threading balls through, holding it up, and specifically his fantastic goal from the halfway.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The halfway line goal was just that was amazing for me. I just thought I reckon he's got to be in the running for Player of the Week this week.
Jake has a fantastic footballing brain, and he's got great intensity. He's always wanting to get on the ball and score.
So I do agree with Will and Liam for some of that time, but they're still my teammates, and they've obviously given me a bit of stick tonight, but obviously still after that I've played with them for 5 years, still my teammates after all of that.
A bit of banter, you know, we're only having a little bit of fun, and it's just a game at the end of the day, to be honest. So.
And I know we'll bounce back next week and try and get a win.
Player of the Week!
Player of the Week!
This week we've got, in the running for Player of the Week, we've got Jake from Quarry Green, Wisdom from River Juniors, and Les Neville-Webb from Quarry Green too.
We've mentioned all 3 of those so far in the show. 2 of them were in the stats that you saw earlier from me. Personally though, I think it's just an outstanding performance. It's probably the first great performance we've seen by a female so far in this league. Unless she was just brilliant, and it's great to see females coming through, and that'll be my player of the week.
I just think that Jake was brilliant this week. I mean, he hasn't had the best of seasons so far, but he's always been there for his team, and he always...
Well, you said, Callum, he hasn't had the best of season so far. Unless has really stunned the world this season.
It's a hard decision to make, but I think that Wisdom's in with the running, as he's had a couple of fantastic performances on the run, and as you said, boys, Will and Callum, you've said Jake and less, which are really good, but I think Wisdom's running away with it.
No, I wouldn't agree with you there, Liam. Unless just, I know Wisdom, he's had a good season, but just sometimes you just have to give credit where it's due, and unless just took the reins just took the lead by the scruff of the neck, carried the team to the win there.
To be honest, I don't think Aless is consistent enough for me, and she's only had a couple of good performances, despite early in the show William showing a couple of good statistics, but some I don't agree with.
Yeah, I agree with Liam there. She's not an all-round performer. Some games she can be amazing, whereas some games she's not as good as she could be.
Surely that game stood out the most for you guys.
She's not showing her true potential in the way she's playing at the moment. She's not consistent, as she only has 1 in 10 of good games. But up to you, Will. But I think Wisdom's got to have it.
No, I've got to go for Jake. Jake's amazing.
No.
So we're leaving it to you this time, the audience, to decide our player of the week. We can't decide between the three of us, but in the running this week we have Jake from Quarry Green, Aless from Quarry Green and Wisdom from River Juniors. There are 3 that we think have stood out the most this week.
It was really tight this week, to be fair.
Yeah, that's why
a tough decision for the audience out there.
That's why I've left it to you. We've had to try of settling this down a bit, but we're not changing, so we're leaving it up to you for this week. So if you can announce your choice of player of the week in the chat, that would be amazing. Thanks. So now we've got the Under-8s League with Sonny and Ryan. They're going to come in now and they're going to talk a little bit about their league and join us for the next 20 minutes. What happened in your league last week?
So Deacon hit the ball up the pitch to Frankie. Frankie crossed it into Niall. Then Niall faked to shoot, but passed it passed it past the goalkeeper and passed it into the football net.
That sounds like a brilliant highlight. What a goal that was by Niall. What do you think? Is that your highlight of the week, Sonny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about you, Ryan? Did you have the same as Sonny or not? Did you just...
My highlight of the week was when Harry in my team he got fouled and it was a free kick and he just crossed it and Max headed it and he went in the top corner.
2 brilliant highlights of the week there. It's going to be a tough one to decide the real one. What do you think, Callum?
I just think that it's got to go for Ryan's highlight of the week. The highlight of the week just it stood out for me with the free kick as well. It's not easy to score a free kick, but especially if you've got a wall.
But River's attack and move, I think, was great. Don't you think, Sonny? I thought that attack and move was brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good attack and move, especially with all of the plays made up to the goal. But I'm still edging towards Ryan's highlight of the week. I just think scoring a free kick, you don't see it like every game. You don't see it all the time. So I just think Ryan's is winning for me.
I think it could be a split decision and go to the audience again. So if you want to pick your highlight of the week down in the chat there, then be welcome to, and we'll decide it next week on highlights of the week.
So
Highlights of the week.
Ryan and Sonny for the Under-8s talk there. Sounds like a good league that, and we'll be looking forward to see how they're doing next week and into the future. So now we're moving on to topic of the week, and I think most of you will have spotted the armband there. That is a Liverpool City FA, and it's an armband that referees are going to wear, and you might already see some wearing them now, but they're going to get more and more common, and this is just to let anyone know that that referee is under 18 and he's only a kid, he's just like your son or your daughter. So we're going to go more into detail with Liam now.
And soon you'll see more of these referees wearing the bands to show that they don't want to listen to people on the sideline shouting. Just let the person referee the game, as they're only a kid like your son or daughter on the pitch.
So I'm just going to do a brief explanation of what these are, like Callum did before. But so basically, these are the armbands you're going to see more commonly that the referees are going to wear, symbolising that they're under 18 referees and they're coming here voluntary, and they're just trying to ref the games without any hassle from the parents, really. And most of the time you hear on the sidelines as a player and probably as a coach, you hear parents going on at the referees, and it's not on, really, to be honest. I know this is under 18s, but any referee, they shouldn't really put up with this, and it's just a shame to hear that to hear on the pitch so many people moaning at the referees. I just think it's a bad thing in football and we need to get rid of it. It's just like racism, as we discussed last week. Just can't be doing it. It's just not on. The referees have come here to see good football as well as ref the game fairly, and they've done the best. They've made the decision and it can't go back. So there's no need to moan at them all this time and leave them.
It's ridiculous the way this has been added into grassroots football, as there should be no need for it, as the parents should just let the referee the game and let the parents watch the game and the kids mainly to have a good time. And then, as Will said, it's not just about the under 18 refs. They shouldn't have to listen to parents getting aggressive over kids football.
So these armbands are going to be seen more and more with the referees, and it's Liverpool County FA that are putting, and these are all free to the referees, and it's not just Liverpool County FA that are going to be using these. They're going to be popping up all around the country, and it's just to let you know that these referees are only 18 or maybe even younger than that.
So let's say your son or daughter is about 16, 17, and you've gone to watch them referee a game and you hear all the parents shouting aggressively at them. You wouldn't like that being at your son, would you? So let's think of it in another way. If you say that to a ref, that's another person's son or daughter. They don't want to be treated that way at all, and it's just think of that example there and just think not to do it again. So that brings us to touchline moments. There's been many touchline moments this week, especially the controversy from River and Wisdom here. As we said, Wisdom's a great lad, but he chats back too much, and on this line this week he got brought off, and he's Spanish, so he doesn't speak much English, but he's been shouting at the coach not to take him off, and it's not on with your manager, really. You shouldn't be doing it. I know it's fun to be on the pitch, but you have to give others game time. It's equally split in our team, so he has to accept that. And I'm sure every manager is evenly splitting it over grassroots football in the league, so I just think you don't have to shout at them, and it's just not on, really. I Wisdom.
I agree with you, Will, because Wisdom is, although he's a good player and he feels the need to not be taken off, he needs to give others a chance to play and try and show that they're worth being in that team, and he needs to accept that other parents are also getting up out of bed early morning kick-offs to see their kid play and not just have Wisdom play every single minute of the game.
I'm sure there's many other players like that out there that are doing it. And parents, message parents, if you don't like the son or daughter being brought off, well, you know, if they don't get brought off and there's someone on the bench who's just been sat there for the full game, the other parent's not going to like it. So it's better equally split, and I really like what the coaches are doing. It's brilliant that they're giving everyone fair game time. What do you think, Cal?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's fair game time. Everyone's all wanting to play football. So if the coaches are and making it fair, then that is fair, because you can't just have one player on the pitch for the full an hour, because it's not fair on the people who sat on the bench. They're there and they're just watching, and it's not fun. It is, as Will said, it's fun to be on the pitch, but you've got to know when it's okay to come off, because you know that you're giving another kid a chance to have fun, play football and play with the mates.
And I'm sure every team has this policy in the league that it's fair game time, as people, as I said before, are coming out early mornings to see their kid play, and not just have one kid keep on running the matches and not give other people a shot. What do you think about that, Will?
I think it's a perfect explanation. I think that's going to be our touchline moment for this week.
This is perfect time to announce referee of the week.
Ref of the week has to be for me. Anthony from the Liverpool County FA. He's just come into the league. He only come into the league a few weeks ago, and he's really been interactive with the kids, and the kids love him. And he's not the referee that's your mate, and well, he's your mate, but he doesn't just like let you off for everything. He's quite strict sometimes, and that's good for a referee, because if you let everything too much happen, then the games can just be a bit too much aggressive sometimes. I know football's an aggressive game, but sometimes it's just over the top, and I don't like that. And I think the referees in this league are all doing a good job, but Anthony especially stood out for me as ref of the week this week.
And I personally think Paul, the referee from Liverpool County FA, was the best, as he knows where to draw the line with bad tackles. He lets the game flow and doesn't keep on stopping it for bad fouls and all that. He just lets the game flow, but he knows what to say and what to do when there's a bad challenge. But I agree with Will that Anthony is a really good ref and knows when to punish players.
Yeah, I think after all our arguing before, I think we've settled this now. Anthony is going to be our ref of the week for this week.
Ref of the week!
Let us know in the chat down below if you want to say one of the refs that you saw or who refed one of your kids' matches and thought he's a good ref. Let us know down below what league, and we might mention them next time.
So, predictions. Last week we managed to get 2 right. We predicted it would be a close game with Corey Green and River, and it was a draw. And we also predicted that Mainlanders would beat Santos, and they did. They managed to scrape a 1-0 victory. But this week's predictions, it's going to be a few feisty fixtures this week. We've got River Juniors versus Ormskirk West End in the County Cup. We've also got, what other fixtures we got this week, Callum?
We've got another different River Juniors team who are playing Kingsthorne, and that is in the Liverpool County Cup. And we've got Maricourt against
St Hilda's, isn't it?
St Hilda's, yeah. They're a good side. They've got a couple of good players, and I reckon they'll cause a couple of problems, because they're missing this he's a really good centre back, Luke Adams. He's going to be on holiday, so they're gonna miss him a lot, and maybe St Hilda's will take advantage of that and cause a couple of problems for us.
There are some tight fixtures there, and I'm going to go for 2-0 to River Juniors and 1-0 to Maricourt, as I think Luke Adams will be a miss for the Maricourt side, but I think we can pull it together.
Yeah.
What do you think, Will?
I think my predictions, it's going to be River Juniors Academy. We know they're playing Ormskirk, we've played them before, so I think it's going to be 2-1 fixture. It's going to be a close game, quite a feisty affair. Then we've got Maricourt versus St Hilda's. As we said before, we're missing centre-back Luke Adams, but I think Maricourt could be a draw, but I think Maricourt might just have the edge. 2-1 victory I'm going for.
I reckon I'm going to say maybe Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Wilf with Michael v St Hilda's. That's got a. I'm thinking a 2-1 draw, 2-1 win as well. For River Juniors v Kingsthorne, I'm gonna go for a 2-0 victory for River Juniors. I reckon it might be a tough match, but I reckon River Juniors have just got that edge of teamwork over Kingsthorne in the FA County Cup.
To be fair though, Kingsthorne have been together a long time, about 6 years now I think Kingsthorne formed. They're a good side, strong side, physical, like to outbattle the other team, so it's going to be a tough one, but still think River Juniors could get the win there.
Kingsthorne have a lot of great players in the side, and I think it might cause a bit of trouble for Maricourt's defence.
Yeah, that was our predictions for next week. It's been Game of the Week for Game Week 10, and I'd like to thank Will, Sonny, Ryan, Liam for joining us this week, and for you watching us at home. This has been Game of the Week.
Game of the